Hi everyone, welcome back to Aspergers from the Inside. Today's Patron's Choice video topic is depression versus burnout. What's the difference? How are they similar? How can you tell the difference? What can you do if you find that you're depressed? And what can you do if you find that you're burning out? So these two things are very similar, and in fact you can actually have a burnout which leads to depression, or you could potentially have burnout and depression at the same time. So that's why I'm going to break it down a little bit today, and I'm also going to share two different methods of regaining energy that are completely opposite to each other. So one helps significantly with burnout, and the other one is more effective for depression. How do they feel similar? They both feel tired. You might feel tired, you've got low energy, and you don't want to do anything. So whether you're burnt out from too much work or whether you're feeling depressed, I've also got a video on autism and depression explaining that being depressed is when your body is physiologically stuck in sadness, stuck in a low energy state where nothing is really pleasurable and you don't really want to do anything. So here's the first little difference between depression and burnout. When you're depressed, nothing seems appealing and you don't want to do anything a lot of the time. At least I know that's the case for me. So in depression, nothing feels appealing. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to go out and have a good time. I don't want to meet friends. I don't want to do my hobbies. You can tell that something's seriously wrong if an autistic person starts losing interest in special interests and other kind of hobbies that were previously a source of energy. Burnout, on the other hand, if I've worked way too hard and I know that I need a break and I'm just completely crashing, the idea of taking some time off and doing nothing actually sounds really good. When I'm depressed, what I want is to just sleep forever until I don't have this feeling anymore, right? Not very helpful. Whereas when I'm burnt out and I've used up all my energy, it sounds like a really nice, enjoyable idea to just sit around and do nothing and stare at a wall for a change. I was in my engineering job, I felt burnt out at some point, and I felt like, wouldn't it be great to get a job where I just carry bricks all day? That would be amazing, and I would have fantasies about not having to look at a screen and just carrying bricks and getting paid, and it would be amazing. So that's burnout. Now, what do you need when you're in depression and what do you need when you're in burnout? They're similar but a little bit different. So how are they similar? You have low energy and you need to get that energy back. In depression, you need to re-energize, essentially, and in burnout, you need to recharge. And there's a slight difference there that hopefully this little flowchart is going to explain a bit better. So as you might know, previous life engineer, love flowcharts, especially this kind of energy in, energy out map. If this is you, your energy has to flow from somewhere. It has to come in from somewhere and then it goes out in the things that you spend it on. Now, if the energy in is larger than the energy out, your battery starts recharging. Great, we love this. So this means that there are two ways to get more energy and to recharge your battery. The first way is to decrease your energy out. So this is a great strategy in burnout. I've been doing a lot of work, I've been expending a lot of energy, and what I'm going to do now is take a break for a short time and allow the energy in to keep recharging my battery. In depression, a lot of the reason we're in depression is because there is just very little energy in. The energy just does not seem to build up. I could sleep all day and still be tired at the end of the day. No matter what I do, it seems like the more I rest, the more tired I get, which is really frustrating because it feels like there's no way I'm ever going to get out of this pit, right? So in depression, it's slightly different in that what we want to do is increase the energy in. So there are some activities that increase our energy as opposed to just stopping our energy going out. Have a think for yourself. What are some things that energize you? So common things that energize people are things like exercise, being creative, getting stimulated by something, whether it's an idea or an activity. Sometimes socializing a little bit with the right people can be really energizing. Going out and physically using your body in exercise, especially high intensity exercise, can be energizing. Some people find things like yoga and meditation energizing because whatever it does, it kind of unblocks whatever's going on and then it just allows the energy to flow more. I'd encourage you to think about energy not so much as I need to hold on to it, I need to make sure I don't spend all my energy. Rather, energy is a flow, and the more you increase the flow, the more energy you have to use at the other end. Sometimes we can get into the trap of knowing that I've got a low amount of energy and therefore trying not to spend much energy on things. And that's one side of the strategy, but sometimes it's helpful to look at the other side as well. Lastly, difference between depression and burnout. Depression often lasts a very long time, especially if you are prone to depression. You might go through periods of depression regularly, or it could even be a chronic thing in some cases. More often than not, burnout is for a short time, or at least a shorter time. And what that usually depends on is, do you get the rest that you need to actually recharge your battery, or do you stay on 5% and then go to 0 and then recharge to 5 and go to 0 and recharge to 5 and go to 0? Nowadays that we have lots of devices that use batteries, you can see that that's probably not a good idea. Every once in a while, you need to fully charge the battery. And another way that this analogy works is batteries work their best when they're fully charged and then fully empty and then fully charged again. So that's why sometimes deliberately expending energy and then deliberately resting can be a way to kind of boost your energy flow, which is really good in the long term because then you'll actually have more energy to use in the future. I do want to acknowledge that sometimes people can have a huge burnout, of the order of like a mental breakdown kind of burnout. Unfortunately, that's not so uncommon. But the point about burnout is that if we recharge, we get steadily better. And the trap there is that once we get a little bit better, all of a sudden our battery's 10% again, and we go out there and use it before we've recharged fully. And so that's the kind of situation where sometimes burnout can last a very, very long time if we don't get the adequate rest to adequately recharge. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, trying to distinguish between what depression feels like and what burnout feels like, and some of the strategies that you might be able to think about in terms of getting more energy in versus using less energy out. So hopefully that's been helpful. Again, this has been a Patron's Choice video voted by our Patreon family, and if you would like to have your say in next month's video, you can become a cup of coffee supporter of this channel for less than $1 a week. So I'd encourage you to do that if you've been thinking about it for a while. Otherwise, again, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again another time. Bye.